Today we're talking about Mile High by Liz Tomforde. Oh, it's a good thing you can't see my desk because it's an absolute mess. What's the name of the guy, the main character from The Wall of Winnipeg? That's what I want to know, because I'm telling you, it was no that guy. What's his name? Aiden Graves. Aiden Graves. I'm just being honest with you. He was no Aiden Graves, okay? And that's just a fact, okay? When I say, whew, okay, I want to make this quick because I simply just don't want to be here this long. Let me face towards you. This book had promise. The first 40% or so was really good, and I think most people can agree with that. I think the majority of people who read this book are liking the first 40%. After that, oh baby, it got hard. The book was too damn long. And I'm just saying that, listen, it was too damn long. It was like 600 pages, and it could have been about 400 pages or less. So our story follows... I stay not remembering what the people's names are. Our story follows Stevie, who is a flight attendant, and Evan Zanders, who is a hockey player in the NHL, and she is the flight attendant for their team. Now, this is one thing that really rubbed me the wrong way. They kept saying that he was her client. He's my client. He's my client. I work for him. I work for him. No. No. Majority of the time when you have a client, you don't work for them. They are hiring your agency or your company or whatever. Not to mention, in this situation, she does not work for him. She works for the team or whoever on the team, whoever's in charge of the team that hired her and the other ladies to be the... I'm thinking, okay, and dude, flight attendants just like run around willy-nilly and waiting for some team to hire them? No, surely they have like an agency, or the NHL, the team in the NHL hires a company or works with a company that puts the pilots and the plane, they have the pilots and the plane and the flight attendants all chunked together, and the team just hires that, company or whatever. Why did they make it seem like he's paying for her? No, second. Okay, so he is like a bad boy, okay? He's a man whore, okay? Essentially, period, he's a man whore. He opens his notes app within the first couple % of the book to check on the girls from the city that they're flying to see which girl he wants to be with. And in the notes app, it's like notes about sexual things about these girls in each city. But you know what? He's got a heart of gold. So we have to forgive him for that. I forgive him for that. That's horrible. That's horrible. That's very bad. Anyway, so that was one thing. Anyway, back to the plot. Pretty much, she is like, whenever they fly to a game in a different, not in their home city, which is Chicago, she was flying with him there, and they have like this, they kind of get this banter going, and he likes her because she's not like other girls, and she like isn't impressed by him because her brother, he doesn't know this, but her brother is a athlete, and so she's like, F athletes, and she just like hates them all, even though she works for a team. And so she's like not scared to give him shit, which I'm thinking, okay, he's kind of seems like a creep. There's a, what's that book? The Fault in Our Stars, John Green. There was a line in that book where it was talking about how the male main character was like staring at the girl, and she was like, essentially said like, if he wasn't hot, it wouldn't be okay. Which is like a sad truth. That's what this book felt like. Except he's like a lot creepy. The other thing was, apparently he was black, and so was the girl. It was not written in such a manner. I didn't even know. In fact, I was assuming he was black, like from clues here and there, because when they explained him and his best friend together, and it was like, they couldn't, this was the stupidest, they couldn't look more different. One was tall and blah, blah, blah. The other was blah, blah, blah. One had light skin and blah, blah, blah. The other had dark skin, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, wait, so which one is which? And I lost it. Like I was not keeping it straight because it was such a confusing way to explain them. And at the end of that, it said one thing they had in common. They were both like the most beautiful people she had ever seen. I'm thinking, that's like everything. Okay, so how many things could they have not in common? I mean, they're hockey players, professional hockey players. We know they're both huge, and then they're both hot. So that's like, I don't know, that's like 90% right there. So I wasn't catching on what the race was, and then way toward almost the end of the book, they were explaining his dad, and they kept saying brown, brown, brown. And I started thinking, is he Hispanic? Oh my God, I've gotten this wrong this whole time. The girl, they made it pretty clear that she was mixed. Her dad was black and her mom was white. And there were some very big issues with her family that came up multiple times. Her mom kind of sucked, but her dad didn't. But then also, like, he put up with the mom. So does he really not suck? I don't get it. She kept being like, I really want to hang out with my dad, but not with my mom there. I'm thinking, if it's such a big issue, bring it up with your dad. The other thing was, as I said, 600 pages. But it would have been 400 pages if they had only said when she was wearing sweatpants, if they had said she put on her sweatpants. If that was what they left it to, the book would have been 400 pages. Okay? Every time she put on her damn sweatpants, here's what it was. I put on my rattiest sweatpants. My softest, rattiest sweatpants that I like the most. This is when I'm really me. I love these sweatpants and nobody can rip them from my hands. I got them from the thrift store where I get all my stuff. Oh, God. And then there was, oh my God, this person. There was one part where she goes out of the house after eating a hot dog, and she's like, I left the house. I didn't even care that I had mustard on my face. Who doesn't care if they have food on their face? Like, I know you can not care about a lot of things, but first of all, this girl has like some serious body image issues, We're reminded of it like every other page. And she doesn't care if she goes out of the house with mustard on her face. So she meets the guy, and she's like in her ratty tatty clothes, and her hair is like a bird's nest, and she has mustard on her face, and he like thinks she's so hot in that moment. And he gets the mustard off her face. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think that he licked it. But I'm not positive. I don't want to say that, but I think that's what happened. Regardless, I would simply perish if those events happen to me. I go out of the house and I'm not looking my best. I meet a hot guy that I work with, and he wipes mustard off of my face. I would melt into the ground. I mean, that's where my body image issues would start and end, because I would die in that moment. I mean, I'm thinking she don't have no body image issues if she's okay with that. Okay, anyway, period. Okay, so that was insanity. Central conflict, the third act conflict was, I'm not even gonna get started. He broke up because he was like, she can't deal with my persona. The central conflict was that he was in his re-signing year, and he didn't know yet if he was going to get re-signed, and he has this like persona with his best friend, where his best friend is like the family guy, and they used to be rivals, but now they're friends, and he's like the bad boy, F-boy of Chicago, and everyone loves him for that. So essentially what he's saying is like, if I am like a good guy, and if I like settle down, they won't like me anymore, and they won't re-sign me. This girl better not be from Chicago, this author, because wow, she's really ragging on Chicagoans for saying that. Oh, you're not going to like a guy who settles down with his wife? Are you kidding me? People eat that shit up. Are you kidding me? They want him to sleep around? Like, not to mention, he was like, oh no, I'm not going to get re-signed. Well, his agent was like, ugh, and wasn't telling him that he had already had a deal. But he's like, I'm not going to get re-signed. Meanwhile, there's not a single conflict in their whole team. Like, everybody gets along really well. He's alternate captain or co-captain or whatever, and with his best friend, and they literally run the team, and then they win the Stanley Cup. And he's like, oh no, I'm not going to get re-signed. Do you think that Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl? And I was like, oh no, who's going to take me? No, they're literally breaking down his door to sign him. So that frustrated me. Also, there were some really cute scenes, okay? Just to say some cute things about this, there were some really cute scenes. Like, he was really cute with his nieces and nephews, his best friend's kids. He was really, like, I did like the banter in the beginning of them, but being frank, his, like, turnaround was cringe, and then they're sleeping together so early was like, okay, now the book should be over. And I'm not saying like, oh, they slept together so it's done, but in a romance book, it's about how they get together. If they get together super early on, I know I'm going to hate the conflict. And this goes for shows too. You know what? If they get together, if it's a 20 episode drama and they get together before the 18th episode, I know some like stupid thing is going to go down. Like, I may as well just stop watching it right then. Seriously. That's exactly the same with this show. This book, they slept together like at the 40 or something % mark, which is way early. And it was like, they didn't have to. It was like for no reason. And then it was like, I'm not to be like, oh, it was done and it was boring, but it was like, it literally was boring because we know that they both like each other. And they're just like making up stupid stuff to not be together forever. And even when they were together, it was like, okay, are they like actually together? Or because like we're just waiting for the thing to happen that's going to break them up before the end of the book. So I disliked that very much. Also, yeah, so about his turnaround, I said it was really cringe. Yeah, so he's like bad boy, has his notes app full of girls that he slept with, loves road games so he can like sleep with different girls, but also he's like, it's a persona. Somebody brings me a girl to walk out of the game with, so everyone thinks I'm sleeping with someone. It's like, okay, well, you are. You literally are. You talked about so much that you love sleeping with people, so why are you like hamming it up? Just like be the normal amount of a, man whore, and then like cut it at that. Why are you hamming it up? Is very strange. And then when he turned around and he filled his notes up with like things he liked about her, it was like, that doesn't make it better. Like, anyway, and also he's like been going to therapy for 10 years and working through his problems. He hasn't been working through his problems because he's still got all the same problems. Okay. 10 years? Are you kidding me? And through the course of this book, he figures out that he was like, oh no, I had misplaced feelings toward my father who worked so hard for us, and I felt like he abandoned me because he like worked really hard after our parents left so he could pay for everything that I need. It took you 10 years of therapy to figure that out? Oh my God. Fire your therapist, seriously. I didn't like the girl so much. Oh, another thing that would have shortened the book, if they only said IPA one time. Oh, I know, IPA is only 3 letters. Seriously, just don't say it so many times. We don't need to know. We don't need to know what she's drinking. We don't need to know. Every single time she ate, it was a burger or a hot dog and an IPA. Always an IPA. And everyone in the comments, everybody in the Goodreads and everything is like, wow, it was so great to have a plus size female main character. Was she really plus size? Because I never got that. I got curvy, and I got like, my weight fluctuates and I'm not as small as everyone else. Okay, I'm thinking like solidly mid-size. I never once had a thought in my brain that she was plus size. Yeah, and the weight fluctuation was a little bit difficult for me to, first of all, she was like, yeah, my weight fluctuates. And I was like, that's cool, because yeah, weight fluctuates a lot. Then she was like, it fluctuates on the daily. I'm thinking, girl, is that normal? I don't know. I mean, maybe in a certain time of the month. Definitely in a certain time of the month it does. And I know weight fluctuates on the daily, like literally like 2 pounds or whatever. But not being able to fit into your, like, the size at all is a little... And then when he bought her clothes and he bought 5 sizes of everything, it's like, okay, you can make a guess. You can make a little bit of a guess. And she's like, it's okay, I'll just donate the rest. I guess it's fine because he has so much money, but like, you can make a guess. 5 sizes of everything? Damn. I shouldn't have read this one first because now I don't really want to read the first, or I don't even know if it's the first one, but the one about her brother. I don't have much else to say about it. Obviously, I just like all of my issues with it, which I did have a lot, but not that this is something that concerns me much at all, but people who are into hockey said that it was very unrealistic. I mean, I get that about the re-signing. Anyone could get that. But they did say that it seemed very unrealistic. I'm interested to read the other one. What it had of the brother, he seemed great. He seemed cool and great. I do like that forced proximity that I think we will be getting with the other book. This book didn't really have any of the tropes that I like. But I will say this, while I'm reading it, I was enjoying it more because the other book that I'm reading right now, I'm hating so much that reading this was like a reprieve. Reading this, I was like, at least it's not the other book. And you will be hearing about the other book from me. Okay, peace out.